The horsemanship. What you're fixing to see is not very pretty sight. Nicky already sprayed the poor little creature down with silver spray, but you'll get to see how bit up he is. They'll really show up now on camera. This is a, believe it or not, a 5-year-old Arab stud I'm fixing to show you. And it's pretty bad. He's stunted. And when he first came off the trailer, he was pretty well listless and no life to him, but now he's been here a couple of days and he's coming around. And this is a fine example of what Falcon Ridge does and everything, what Nicky tries to do her best to help out, but you know, Falcon Ridge have limited funds. So right now the little guy's back there to the camera. And just walk your camera right over here, hon. Just face it this way because he's going to be. So this is the little guy. Believe it or not, he is, like I said, he's a 5-year-old, and he's intact. He's a stud. A little bit I know. I'm not going to get into much of that, as he's pretty well been like this his whole life, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be stunted now. And unfortunately, we're going to try like hell to get him back on his feet and going, but unfortunately they might be at so much internal damage by now we can't. But what Falcon Ridge can do and will do is give him a quality of life until his time is up. He's probably pretty wormy, and that's the bad thing about with horses. He's probably never been wormed. Bad thing with horses as wormy as probably as he is, there's probably intestinal damage and stomach damage. And who's to say 2 years from now, when he's looking good and spry, you know, his gut can rupture or intestinal wall can rupture from the worm damage. You know, people, don't let this happen with the neighbor's horses. That's my biggest gripe. This horse has been like this his whole life. Get in there and say something. And don't, if the officials come out and they just slap him on the wrist or whatever, don't let it be that. Keep hounding them. You know, because it's just not pretty. I mean, this is heart-wrenching, and I know it's hard to see. And he's a little sweetheart guy, and I'm hoping he does make it. He won't be big enough for an adult, but what I've seen of his temperament, even though he's lethargic now because of his weight, a little bit of his personality is coming out. He'll make probably a good little kid's horse after we get him going and castrated and some muscle. And that's the whole thing. We don't know how much muscle he's going to get because, you know, since he's been underfed, if you notice through his back, he doesn't have any muscle. What happens is, just like our body, if we don't get the protein and fat that we need, after a time, our body's going to start eating at itself to get the nourishment. And that's what's happened through him, and that's why there in front of his rump, he doesn't have any muscle at all. So we don't know what his future is. We just hope for the best. And like I said, the only thing I can say, you know, if you see horses like this, hound the officials, do something until something's done. And you got to realize, officials' hands are tied too. Because number one, horses are labeled as livestock. And personally, I want them keep labeled as livestock. I don't want them to be called pets. Because once they get called pets, PETA's going to jump in there, and then us who enjoy riding our horses, doing things with our horses, we're not going to be able to do it no more because the politically correct people will jump in there and screw it all up. They'll want everybody to be pasture puffs, or if it's up to PETA, turn them out back on the range. And that's another thing I said on Facebook last night. You people out there who really wants these Mustangs to stay on the damn range, this is what's going to happen to them. You got to, there's no natural predators out there to control them. So the only thing that's going to control them is when they overeat, they're overgraze, and they don't have any water. This is what's going to happen to them. So get off your bandwagon about keeping the Mustangs. Yes, BLM can do it different by how they're gathering them up. But damn it, I don't want to see no horses looking like this, domesticated or wild, and that's what's going to happen if we just leave them off the range. You goody feel good people, get off of it. Think logical. But what gets me, the goody two-shoe people, where in the hell were they with this horse? I mean, here he's 5 years old. He's been like this his whole damn life. So there's no reason for it. This is a sweetheart little horse, and there's no reason he had to live like that. That's no life. And personally, I was honest with the person. You know, part of me, because I've seen horses die from worm damage, part of me would just go ahead and do it. But you know, this guy needs a chance and needs some quiet life for a while. So that's my bandwagon for today, and I hope this eats at somebody so they get off of it and do something. You know, people like this, you're enabling them when you don't report it and get their name out there, because you're not helping them. They need mental help also. Yeah, that's one thing I wish the courts would do if they step in, would demand, if it went to court, demand these people get therapy and find out why they're hoarders. And because they're not fixed, the problem's not getting fixed. That's the whole thing with hoarders. Just seizing the horses or dogs or cats or rats. In one show, this guy had 1,000 rats in his house, pet rats. They're domesticated rats, you know. But in his case, he was getting help after they seized them. And that's what they need to do with these hoarders. Damn it, after they seize the horses, court order ought to fix it, so they have to get help, because like I said, you're not fixing the problem. You're just covering up by taking the horses or whatever it is. You know, I'd love to leave it on a fine note and a good note, but right now the more I look at him, the pisser I'm getting. So I can't. So with that said, I'm going to really say it this time. Be true to the horse, basically. I mean, that's my whole philosophy with these horses and everything. Piss on natural horsemanship, piss on the rest of it. Be true to the horse. That's what it boils down to. If you're true to the horse, this won't happen, and you'll have a better relationship with that horse by being fair to it and treating it like a horse, and not try to put human emotions, whatever. In this case, nobody try to put squat at him, not even feed. So, like I said, I'm going to say it again, be true to the horse, and they'll be true to you. And us, first and foremost, damn it, you got to be true to yourself. If this hoarder was true to herself, this horse wouldn't be like this. So look at our shortcomings, try to change them. That's all we can do. We can try. I mean, I know too many people, they live in their own little world and they think they're God's gift to whoever, but they're not being realistic. So anyway, let's not let this happen. Let's try to get it down. No matter if it's humans, horses, dogs, or cats. Got to put a stop to this. We're human beings. We're individuals. We don't have to go and rescue things on a large scale like we do. Just one little thing can do something. If you try to see a person in distress, help them out if they're willing to help themselves. See an animal, help them out if you can. You don't have to do it like we do it. So anyway, and with that said, my kids and grandkids and special person out there, West Lake KNA, to all the Sukawakons out there, which is Lakota for being spirit dog, but that's what they call horses. West Lake KNA, and God bless and take care.